We are reviewing a very old video that we made. I believe we made it 3-4 years ago. And to be completely honest, we just watched it for the first time in 3 or 4 years.
Wow, for sure.
It's going to be straight off the cuff, figuring out what we were even thinking, maybe even critiquing things that we would do differently to this day, whether it be just very technical things or just we would have shot it differently.
Yeah, and like we were saying, it was very similar style to the recent Benzie shoot that we just did. You guys can check out that video that we'll have. But yeah, very similar style. So it looks like we haven't changed too much, but at the same time, there has been an upgrade and there is some audio that's different. So we'll get into all that stuff. So
yeah, but it holds true to this day. And I guess I'm not the judge of that. You guys can let me know if you think so, but I think it still holds true. I think it's still a good video, but let's hop into it.
Great clip.
This is a skateboarding video, you know.
This was the time, I remember it was after the movie mid-90s came out. I remember I wanted to hit up a friend who was a friend of a friend who was really into skateboarding. I heard this kid could absolutely shred it. And so I reached out to him. He was totally down. So I think I hit you up and we ended up getting a awesome video. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, and this was all shot in like a 3-hour period too.
Yeah.
Before I go out and skate, I like to turn on the switch.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and say the intro is good.
Boom.
The intro is good.
Boom.
I don't think that we had this whole switch idea in whenever we were shooting it. I don't think we had any
That wasn't
idea.
the thing. I didn't come to you and was like, hey, this is going to be called Switch.
Yeah.
We're getting into it. I think it was maybe, I feel like it was like quick into editing though. I feel like we were maybe like 10 minutes into editing and I was like, I don't know if you had a big moment or I had a big moment. We're like, dude, it's Switch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when those types of things come up and you're like overreact a little bit, but at the same time, that's what fulfilled the theme of this.
That's why
video.
It was good. We could have easily made just like a 30-second video that we'll forget about, which is arguably what we shot for.
Yeah.
We pretty much just went out and got as cool of shots as we could of him skating around.
We didn't know
and
what
then
it
figured
was
out
gonna,
after the fact. But you would not be able to tell from this video.
And
but
even,
I think this title sequence with the one with just on the black screen and then going into these with the yellow text with the pop of yellow in the shot, it's a great way to start and you see what the style of the video is going to be.
Yeah, you'll see throughout it. Main colors that I think we just focused on was keeping that yellow shade throughout the text and finding different things in the video. Like, for instance, what we just talked about, just that yellow curtain hanging for there from construction or whatever it was. But looking for those types of things and also just whatever filters that we were putting over it. Kind of a bluish color almost, I'd say. It was like a blue and a yellow
and
that we tried to.
Some black and white too.
Some black and white was in there too. So I'd say those were like the three like main things that we focused on. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Oh, film burn.
Film burn and guitar amp, I think, was going on. So out of the gate, we wanted a rush. We wanted some type of adrenaline kicking in for viewers to be like, okay, where's this going? This is exciting. Let's get it going. And I thought just the one buildup we had with a simple trick was perfect for that. Because after that trick finished, we had that pause and that silence. And I thought those were the biggest things that we added throughout this, because I know we end up doing that at the end too, to like really staple that Switch theme or that Switch just the narrative of it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, you'll see that throughout it, but I thought that was a pretty big one too.
Yeah, and as you can see, if you watch the Benzie video, I feel like a common theme that I didn't even notice. We like to start off hard. For the Benzie one, we started out quick with some quick cuts. For this one, we did the same thing.
Right.
I guess that's just our style. That's what we like to do. Totally. Come out of the gates fast, which is perfect for social media.
Yeah.
Dominic Ship. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
That voiceover, totally Brenton's idea. We actually recorded it into a voice memo on the phone, and you might be able to speak more on this, but did we even have a script for We had a rough outline, and
I
then
had
just had
a
him
few.
talking.
Well, what I did was after talking to him, I think, because where I met him, it was at the cafeteria at school, and I was a cafeteria kid, but we would go and we would just talk about little things about skating and stuff. And I remember after talking to him one day, I went back and wrote a few words that I thought would like be good throughout the clips that I wanted, like where are you from, that kind of thing, and him talking about it almost seems like a little mysterious at first, just the filter that we put over that iPhone recorded sound, just making it sound like it was like almost through a walkie-talkie or something like that. I think that was like
Sounds
what
like
we were going for.
Voicemail, walkie-talkie, something.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly why we went with that, but I think it was definitely a stylistic thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it was because the quality of it wasn't amazing. And,
Right, that could have been it too.
It.
And we worked with it, made it sound cooler than it was, touched up on a few other things besides just throwing the filter on it too. Yeah. And it was funny. I mean, if you ever need audio and you're not filming somebody, the iPhone's great for voice memos, even if you want to use the voice memo thing. Like,
yeah, I actually tell people if I mess up audio or after the fact we want a voiceover, I'll tell them to just go in their closet where all their clothes are, because there's so much fabric around that absorbs the sound, and just record it straight into their phone, and it actually turns out really good.
Oh yeah, it turns out great.
Stepping out of my comfort zone has been a part of meeting many people and being involved in the culture of skating.
So those drone shots, that was, if I had to guess, that was us still thinking that drones were just the coolest thing ever. And I brought my drone and I was like, let's get a couple. I think it turned out
They
good.
are the coolest thing ever.
And I think crushing those blacks in the colors there and really going for that black and white look for those, it's just such a good.
Because I don't think there's one shot in here that we shot with the drone that we didn't put a black and white.
Well, there's the one with the film burn over top of the skate park.
Those. The skate park ones, we kept those. But for that specific location with the statues that you guys saw, I thought it just kind of kept that weird.
And I think part of the reason that I guess we probably ended up doing it is because around those statues is grass. And having a pop of green and then maintaining the cohesiveness of the yellows, the green would have just thrown you off.
Oh, totally.
So I think we just went black and white so we could totally
it was
just not
definitely
even
a
have to
color
worry
thing
about that.
too. But it ended up looking even better with the statues there and everything. Yeah.
One of the main things that I've taken from skating is actually perseverance. So the fact that you have to try one cast over and over and over again until you eventually get it or don't. Just the drive internally that it takes to do that has just taught me that.
So I think for a lot of these shots, they ended up being pretty smooth. And actually something funny about it was Brenton was on rollerblades for it. And so he had his camera in hand.
Totally forgot about
and he was on rollerblades to get these shots.
I was going through the city of Chicago, rollerblades on, pink laces on these rollerblades, and holding a camera. People probably were like, what in God's name is this dude doing? But it was a blast. We made the best of it, and I thought the shots turned out smooth, especially with the ones along here. Just having the rollerblades on and following him was easy to keep up because he was moving.
Yeah,
he was moving.
I think you were on a Ronin too for some of it.
Definitely. When we shot a lot of stuff near the staircase.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the intro and a couple other clips you'll see. That was probably like a 12 stair.
Yeah.
I must say, like he
was a little bit nervous about
it. Oh yeah. I remember when we pulled up to it, he was like, well, this is bigger than I remember. Then we just started laughing so hard.
And it worked out to our advantage because it was kind of a crappy day, and I remember there was some spots that we couldn't do because it was too wet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that would have been awful if he absolutely just ate it there at the bottom because it was so high. Like you realize how high that is. Like me on rollerblades, like I was like processing in my mind. I'm like, could I jump this thing?
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. And I'd probably feel way more comfortable doing it rather than a skateboard. But seeing him clear it was awesome. And I was like, damn, we just got that Tony Hawk moment.
Yeah.
Like, that was great.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the clip
that's
that
what
I
we
wanted to show. Yeah, that's what won it.
Yeah.
I mean, without that, still would have been a great little flick. But putting that in the beginning and then having it throughout it.
Yeah, and if you think about it too, like
'cause he did it a few
just
times.
to tip my cap to Dom a little bit, he had to do it multiple times because the intro shot is those stairs where you see him land.
Yeah.
And then we just saw a shot from behind him, which clearly that wasn't at the same time, or else you would have seen one of us shooting.
Right.
So, I mean, he did it a couple times.
He did it a few times. I think after he cleared the first one, he said to himself, I got this.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a learning curve for him, I thought, like throughout the day. So that's what made it definitely more fun to shoot with him too, because he got more excited about what he was doing. And yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't really just do anything that I put my mind to.
I wish we wouldn't have put that film burn in.
I know.
I still
totally
put film
agree.
burns in some videos now, but I just think
It
that
pops
being
so
the
much,
it
especially
stands
with the
out so
colors.
much,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like it's the only time we used it. I just don't think it fit.
I think we did use it in the beginning when the amplifier noise went off. When
Oh,
we cut
yeah.
to that drone
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
That
one didn't stand out, though, for some
didn't
reason.
stand out because I didn't want, like, I don't think we wanted it to.
Yeah,
But
this
then all of
one's
a
so
sudden,
in your
we
face.
just threw it in there. I
Yeah.
think we were just getting to like a little point where something was like frustrating about that clip,
Yeah,
and we thought that would cover it. Like most people end up doing, like, oh, film burn.
yeah, yeah. I don't like that we did that. Wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, yeah.
Skating together.
That was smooth.
That was smooth. Yeah, a lot of continuity comes into play within this. I talk about it in the Benzie clip that we do a rundown on. Like I said, check that one out too. But yeah, continuity definitely comes into play, whether you're going left to left, right to right, or for this instance, up then down. I thought that was perfect. It was very seamless. And the way that we did it was just, I'm going backwards on my rollerblades once again, tilt up. Next thing you know, I'm finding a clip, just search. I think I was like really searching to just find something
Yeah.
that came down.
I think this is like right outside of a
And
hotel.
Usually when you do that kind of thing, like I'll find it, but I have to like reverse it or something like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, this was right outside of a hotel. I wanted the lights in it, so I remember specifically like having it up and down.
Yeah.
And I remember in my head like wanting to match that with something. So going back and finally editing it and finding the one other clip that went with it, I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's a great feeling whenever you want something and
Yeah.
whenever you shoot for something but don't know exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you find out, oh, it actually worked.
Right. So
People from like all walks of life. The community is really, really
There's another time he had to
another
do it.
stair clear.
really involved in intertwined. It doesn't matter like what you look like, what you do, like
Yeah, so like I was mentioning before, this is the drone spot where we had it all in black and white. And if we didn't, I mean, you probably have some blue on the buildings. You'd have some different colors from the buildings. And then you'd have the green grass. And I just think the shot would stand out so much if we didn't color it how we did and just go with the black and white theme.
Right.
And the cherry on top is that the yellow pops on the black and white, the yellow captions that I don't even know if they were cliche back then. I know they're cliche now to use, but like it looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we wanted to use them too, just from audio purposes.
Yeah.
Like maybe you didn't hear something.
Yeah,
or
true.
Because we shot it through that iPhone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it turned out very clear,
Yeah.
and we didn't even really need it. But I thought it went with the aesthetic
Yeah,
of it.
absolutely.
we can all just like unite on the agenda that we like to skate. And that's the switch.
Bam.
So
the
that's it
switch.
right there.
That was the other pause that I talked about, like from the beginning. Just having those little segments where we can like identify the whole theme of the clip was right there. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
the
it just
switch.
wraps it all up.
Yeah,
It
makes
wraps
it quiet.
up.
Has that little switch noise again that we put in there. Just
I
some
love that
click.
little after he's done talking, before he says, and that's the switch, we had like a cough in there. Did you hear
there
that?
was a little cough.
But it
was
so
I
cool.
think that was an audio, like some audio that we used from off the street.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, and somebody was coughing up a lung there, I think.
But
And
it's
we
just
got
it was so cool. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It filled that dead space and just kept you there because you're not like, wait, black video, like there's nothing.
Right.
It's over.
Yeah, yeah.
You knew something else is coming,
Oh, totally.
which was cool.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the video holds true to this day. Yeah, would have been cooler if we got to shoot it on better cameras.
Oh, yeah. But for the time we were being, that was during that spot where we were like having those, starting to find newer stuff and like,
yeah, this
as far
is-
as camera gear goes. And
This is, to me, the furthest back I'll go to show somebody to this day that I'll still be proud of a project.
I agree.
I'll still
I
put
completely
this in
agree.
my reel.
I mean, I've got
I'll
it
still
pinned
show
on
it to
my
people.
social and
Yeah,
stuff.
and I mean, it still holds true, and I think people still see it, and they're like, wow. And to think that we were both like 18 at the time making this thing, not really knowing where we were going to go with the video, not truly making it for any purpose other than the fact that we just wanted to make it.
Yeah, it was a random Friday we had or something.
Yeah,
and
this was the video that I showed to people for so long whenever they asked to see some of my work, and I mean,
Yeah,
I think
was awesome.
it works out well. Like it
does.
still
Yeah.
shows.
Oh yeah,
to
I was
this day.
100% proud of that one, and just how much fun we had doing it too. Just cruising around. I mean, it was when we're near the city too. So I mean, we're going to all these new spots around town, and never been to that skate park and stuff like that. And having Dom show us around was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun one to shoot. It's cool to look back on, and yeah, I'm proud of it. So,
Oh, yeah.
anyways, let me know if you like these different breakdowns that we're doing. I think we're gonna do more, even if they're projects that we didn't both work on. So maybe we could critique one another in
yeah.
our
Let's
videos,
get
and I
mean.
think that would be cool. But you know, just trying to put out different kinds of videos and show you the work that I do along the way, because this YouTube stuff is not all I do. So,
Yeah. Let us
anyways,
know what you
have a
guys
great
think.
rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.